Hi there and welcome back. It's Lisa from Critters'n Ink Designs in Ontario, Canada. And today I'm going to be doing the Expressions and Kindness kit. And hopefully with a couple of, if I can put my brain in gear, a couple of alternatives as well. So before we get going, I just want to remind you of the June bundle sale. And so select die and stamp sets are on for an additional 10% off over and above the original 10% that bundles are. So that would give you 20% off the bundles that are currently on sale. You'll have to go onto the online store to see which ones are included in this sale, but most of them are. And then also, if you don't have a cut and emboss machine, they too are 10% off. And so we have the big one and the two little ones. Let me just grab the little one here for you. There. So here's the little one. This is the little boho blue one. And it comes with all of these plates. And you can see mine is well loved. Poor thing, I've just about worn off all the all the writing off the main plate. But so it comes with these, and this is available in the boho blue and white, as well as the larger one in the white, and they're all 10% off the current prices. And what else was I going to show you? Oh, and just to remind you that every month Stampin' Up! Adds 2 new kits. So we have the Scenic Route Travel Journal Kit, as well as the Expressions of Kindness kit, which is the one that we're going to be doing today. So just a quick reminder. So let me go down to my desk, and I'll just show you. I did show the kit the other day, but we can just quickly have a look at it again. So this was the card that I did when I was in Ottawa at a demonstrator-only event last month. That we had so much fun. And then here are, I'll just go over this real quickly if you didn't see the other video. You get 4, is it 4? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of these card bases, which are absolutely gorgeous, and 4 of the watercolor bases as well. And then there's 8 envelopes. 4 are like this, beautiful. And then the other 4 are more simple, like this. And then we have 2 sheets of these punch-out little, I'm going to say they're thistles. The leaves don't look like thistle, but I guess they're thistles. I actually don't know. But aren't they pretty? And then we have a sheet of these little labels, as well as this sheet of gold punch-out elements. Absolutely gorgeous. And there's 4 of those. And then every kit that comes with a stamp set actually comes with a block. So you can get quite a collection of these little blocks. And these stamps are gorgeous. This one says, "Wishing you the happiest of birthdays. Just a note. Kindly deliver to." And then this is like a texture type element. And then this is just a stamp that puts dimension onto the floral thing. And then it comes with a whole package. Let me find a scissors here. A whole package of white ribbon. So it's really pretty ribbon. Can't really get this to focus that well. Anyway, it's it's almost like a grosgrain. Not a grosgrain, like a almost like a twill tape. If you're a sewer, you know what twill tape is. So that's kind of what it looks like. And then there's also some dimensionals. And look at these little gems. Aren't they stunning? They're like a champagne color. So pretty. And a Blackberry Bliss Stampin' Spot. And some glue dots. So let's tidy up this area. Let's lay out what we have here so I don't get bamboozled. So we'll put our card bases over here. And our punch out elements over here. Okay. So let's see, card number 1. Very pretty. Okay, so the first thing we need is, well, I just installed a new camera. My husband gave me a new camera. And I'm getting used to the positioning here. So if I'm off center here, pardon me. As I say, we're still figuring it out. All right, so I've got my one element mounted on a block. And then I'm going to take this little floral one and mount that one on a block too. But because I have smaller blocks, I am going to choose a smaller block. If you have blocks available to you, the smaller the stamp, really, you should use the smaller the block, because it just doesn't rock as much and you don't have as many issues. So we need one of these card bases. And one of these labels and some ribbon. How much ribbon do we need here? 6 1/4 inches of the ribbon. So I'm using the bottom of my glass mat. Oh, that's another thing. The glass mat actually is now going to be available to purchase as of July the 3rd. Isn't that exciting? So you've seen me use this mat, and in my last video I showed you the little silicone mat that comes with it, as well as this chamois. This other little chamois. So I showcased this in my last video, which I will pop up, up. And if you want to have a look at that. So it says 6 1/4 inches. All right. So I'm going to grab my Blackberry Bliss big stamp pad, because I tend to keep my smaller ones for when I travel. Now these are new stamps. They haven't been used yet, so I'm just going to grab my other chamois, and I'm going to give these stamps a little quick wipe, just in case there's any residue from the manufacturer on there. And I highly recommend that you do this, whether it's your red rubber stamps or whether it's the photopolymer. Okay, so I need a piece of scrap to get this thing primed. And I'll do this one too while we're at it. Beautiful. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to place this element kind of right here. And stamp that a couple of times. And then I'm going to take this element and I'm going to just give some texture to these flowers. Like that. And where's my happy birthday? So wishing you the happiest of birthdays. We might as well do all of our stamping at the same time. So wishing you the happiest of birthdays. I better clean this one. You can see my thing is starting to curl a little bit. It's getting dry. I need to rehydrate it. Okay, so let me just prime this stamp a little. There, so let's try and see if we can make this straight. Beautiful. That's why I love photopolymer. You can see through them. Okay, I think that is all of our stamping for now. We can stamp our envelope after. So let's fold our card. I'll grab a bone folder. And what did I do with my ribbon? It's here. So they just kind of have it like this with the ribbon coming out. That's really pretty. So I'm just going to use a couple of the glue dots. Okay, so let me grab my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm just going to put a couple of dots. I'm going to put one on the ribbon. Like that. And then I'll put a couple just right here to hold the ribbon in place. And we'll put some dimensionals on the back of our little label here. Like this. And our gems. This is so pretty. So let's just put a couple of gems around. So they have 5 going on their card, but I like to save mine so that I can get more usage out of what supplies I have. So I typically only use 3, but you can certainly do whatever you like. And will I put one on here? Why not? There. So there's card number 1. That is so pretty. So simple. Really, really easy. So that's card number 1. Okay. So now let's see what we're doing for card number 2. So let's grab this card base. Like that. And to do this card, you're going to need some of the punch outs. So let's see. So here's a punch out of the floral. And a gold one. What did I do with my gold? So they are... There we go. These are so delicate and so pretty. And then this one, we also need 6 1/4 inches of ribbon. So we'll do the same thing we did before. Whoops, I'm all tangled up. So 6 1/4 inches of ribbon. So So let's have a look. So the first thing we want to do is what we did before, and that's to stamp the little element onto the flowers. So let's go ahead and do that. So that's that. I guess we could do our label too while we've got the ink out. So we need one of just the plain blue labels. So we'll do that, and let's grab the Just a Note sticker. And let me see. So let me clean this one. There, I just cleaned it off screen, but we'll give it a test stamp to make sure that it's okay. I really like the font on this. It's really pretty. Okay, so let's go ahead and stamp that on there. Try and make it straight. Okay, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit here. It's a little bit better. Okay, and so we have our card base and our ribbon. Where's my instructions are here. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is put down our floral. So I'll just take my glue dots. Now I like to save my glue dots, to believe it or not. Because they're great for traveling. I keep them in a little bag. Do I have them handy? I don't think I do, actually. Oh yeah, I do. I keep them in a little baggie, and I pop them in my backpack when I'm going to see the kids or whatever. And then it's just, you know, there's no bulk. I love the strength of the glue dots. You know, they hang on really well. And yeah, I really like them. So let's go ahead and pop that there. Oops, that's a little bit high. You can see the tip is just over the edge of the card. So let me move that down just a smidgen. There, that's better. And then I'm going to pop the gold one right on there like that. And I almost wonder, no, they have the gold one on top. I was going to say, I almost wonder if they put the gold one underneath, but I don't think they did. So what I'm going to do with the glue dot, though, because these little stems are very skinny, is I'm going to roll my glue dot just with the end of my take your pick tool. And I'm just going to pop it on a couple of leaves just to make sure it sticks. And I'm not going to put too many. I don't think I really need too many of them, but maybe just 3. Put one there. Oops. And this one here. All right, I'll just put this one, where will I put this one? Right here. There, squish it down a little bit. It's pretty chubby. There. And then this is just going to go right on top of here. So cute. And we have our ribbon, and we're going to do basically the same thing. Oh, so cute. So cute. Clean up our mess. And our gems. Isn't that the cutest? Very, very pretty. Okay, so that's 2. So let's do what they were going to do with the back of this card base. So let me grab my trimmer, and I'm going to trim this down to 4 by 5 1/4. So let's zoom back out here a little. So 4. Actually, I'm going to put this one up. There, I want to keep this little flower, so I'm going to rotate this and just cut off this end here by 5 1/4. Is that what I want? Yeah. Or do I want to do 3 3/4 by 5? Let's do 3 3/4 by 5. I'm going to keep this. And then 3 3/4, I can cut off 1/4 inch. Ooh, I don't want to lose that flower. Okay, 1/4 inch. Okay, so let's see. I grabbed some of the coordinating colors. So we have Wild Wheat, Petunia Pop, Mossy Meadow. Oh, I'm going to use Mossy Meadow. And Lost Lagoon and Blackberry Bliss. So let me think. So what if I did this? Maybe. Or what if I did... Oh, I like that better. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So let's see. I need a card base out of the Wild Wheat. So I typically make 2 card bases at a time. So I have my 8.5 by 11. I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. And the scoring tool is the light beige one. So you have the beige one and you have the brown one. The brown one is a cutting blade. And the beige one is a scoring blade. So I've got it lined up at 4 1/4. I'm just going to score it. And then I'm going to line it up over here at 5 1/2, and I'm going to cut the long side in half. And that'll give me 2 card bases. Because you're always going to need a card base somewhere down the road, even if you don't use it today, right? Oh, and then I wanted to cut a piece of, what color will we cut? Or what size? So we're going to do Blackberry Bliss. And I cut this at 3 3/4 by 5. So I think I'm going to cut it at 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. 3 7/8. Because I just want a skinny little border on there. So I just want a tiny little border like that on here. Oh, yeah. Very, very cute. All right, so we have our card base. And let me just have a quick look at what the directions wanted us to do. Oh, they have it this way. No, they have it this way. So let's see. So I just have a very fine little border there. And then I'm going to center this like this. So one of the things we need to do first is we're going to do our little element onto our flowers. So let's get this layer out of here. Guess it helps if you open this. All right, so I'm going to stamp here like that. There. so pretty. And so, you know, in looking at this says kindly deliver to. It's an envelope. Here, I thought they were doing an alternative. It's not. It's an envelope, so whatever. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to grab some liquid glue. And oh, good grief. Okay, so here's an alternative for you. So let's glue this puppy down. So just centering it on our Blackberry Bliss layer so you can see it's a very fine little border there. So let's fold our card base. Like that. And then I'm going to center this onto here. And I'm wondering what we should stamp on here. Let's just do wishing you the happiest of birthdays. What are the other stamps? This one says kindly deliver. So, okay, so yesterday when I was doing this video, my feed froze just before I assembled this, and it doesn't show when I'm actually recording. It only shows when I go to edit the video. So this is the completed card. And so what I did was I took my layer and I wrapped a little bit of the linen twine around and just put a little bow and a couple of gems on there. And then on the inside, I just took a piece of basic white that is 3 3/4 by 5, and I just stamped the little texture stamp there. So that's that card. So next, I'm going to use the other half of that card that I cut in half. Now, because I did continue to video and I did get this card made, I'm going to recreate this card for you using another card base because, as I say, it froze and all of that was lost. So let me grab my trimmer. And I'm going to take another card base and I'm going to cut it at 4. Is that 4? Let me just measure this. I think it's 4 by 5 1/4. Or it might be 3 3/4 by 5. That seems to be my new go-to. I really like 3 3/4 by 5. So let's go 3 3/4. 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to cut this side off because there's a lot more detail on this side. So I'm going to cut that off. And don't throw this out. You can put this little strip inside of a card. 3 3/4 by 5. I have Georgie sitting on the window right across from me, and there's a little chipmunk aggravating the living crap out of her. And it's so funny. It's climbing up the screen and everything. It's just hilarious. Poor Georgie. Poor Georgie, you're so hard done by, kitty. Do you need a card base in Lost Lagoon? So let me grab another piece of Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to cut this. If that was 3 3/4 by 5, I'm going to cut this 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. I'm just adding 1/8 of an inch onto both sides. So 5 1/8. And then I need to make a card base out of the Lost Lagoon. And I actually have one that I had cut earlier. So that's the other half of the one that I had cut earlier. And this is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. So let's see. So this is really a simple little alternative. I do this quite often when I have even my paper pumpkins. If the kits are, you know, really pretty on both sides, I'll just cut up the card base and use that. So you can see here, well, I don't know if you can see it, but I can certainly see it. the card base is not folded properly. So what I'm going to do is there's a ridge here on my trimmer, and I'm going to put these two sides right into the corner and kind of force it in there. And what that will allow me to do is to readjust my score line and get a better fold on my card base. So you can do that with your trimmer. You can do it on your score. What's it called? Score. You're simply scored. So I'm going to do it this way. So this is the card that I actually did in the previous video. So this is the card I'm going to recreate. So I have my card front. This is actually the back of the card, of this card base. And I'm going to glue that right to the Blackberry Bliss. Let me grab my glue. I'm getting so frustrated with technology. My husband just shakes his head. He said, I've never seen anybody have so many issues with technology the way that you do. And I'm like, no kidding, you know? And I think, and I tend to overthink things on a good day, but I'm not. I used to be really tech savvy, and I'm not tech savvy at all anymore because things have just changed so much. And now I can't even get my glue to come out. I don't know if you can hear in my microphone. We have a bunch of dead trees on our property, and the arborists are here today, and they're taking down, I think my husband said five trees. That's a lot of trees. All right, I'm going to load this right in the center of this. And then I was rooting around yesterday. Now, what the heck did I do with it? And I thought it needed a little bit of pizzazz. And I kind of was looking at different ribbons and trims and stuff like that. But I found a little bit of this gold trim. It was part of the Christmas catalog last year. So you had a thing of gold and a thing of silver. And this is all of the gold that I have left because I used a lot of it on Christmas tags and such. So I'm just going to run my bone folder over it just to take a lot of the curl out of it. And then I'm going to wrap it around here twice. Ooh, I might just make it. I just have enough to do a little bow here, I think. I'm just going to tie a little quick bow. Cross your fingers that I have enough. If I do, it'll be really snug. That's for darn sure. All right, so let me tie a little knot just to anchor this. There, so that's okay. It's not the prettiest bow you'll probably ever see, but I totally can live with it. And there. So, oh, you know what I forgot to do is I forgot to stamp the little detail. What do I do with my stamps? The little detail on the flowers here. So let me grab my Blackberry Bliss. It's amazing what a difference this little detail makes. There. And then I think on that sample, I did add a little bit of Wink of Stella just on the purple part of the flower, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, keep in mind, this is alcohol, so it's going to smear your ink a tiny bit. So be very light-handed when you do this. There, so I've just put that there. And then I can go ahead and mount this onto here. Actually, I think before I do that, I'm just going to scooch this down a tiny bit. There, that's better. It was crossed over and I didn't kind of like the look of it. There. All right, so I can go ahead and glue this onto my card base. It's so pretty already. And let's see, I'm going to take one of the little blue labels here, and I'm going to put just a note, because I send a lot of cards that are just, you know, to say hello and things like that. So let me just grab that. Oops, not very straight. There. Alrighty. Okay, so let's just line that up and hopefully it'll be pretty straight. Yeah, not bad. Okay, and I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. There, and this can just pop right here. Georgie's pouncing at the window to try and get that chipmunk. Not working for you, eh, Georgie? We have new neighbors. They just moved in and they have a dog over there. And Georgie really hasn't had a lot to do with dogs. So it'll be interesting to see, because she's the one cat that does go outside. It'll be interesting to see how she reacts when the dog comes flying at her, because he's a bit more energetic, let's say, than some dogs. And I'm not sure how she's going to deal with that. Okay, what did I do with my Take Your Pick tool? There we are. Okay, so I'm going to add a couple of gems onto here. And maybe I'll pop one down here. There, isn't that pretty? So on the inside, we can just put a little bit of that dimension stamp, this one here, onto a piece of basic white. So I pre-cut my pieces to 4 by 5 1/4. I will take, quite often I'll take just a whole package and just put something on Netflix and just cut a cat hair on here somewhere. Cut up a whole package and have all my card inserts ready to go. All right, so I'm just going to pop this on the inside. And I'm not putting a sentiment in there, it's just a note card. And I started cutting my inserts just a little bit smaller. I really like the smaller piece, so quite often I'll cut this down to 3 3/4 by 5. I just like the smaller look. Okay, so that's alternative number 3. Next, I thought I would take one of those envelopes, dissect an envelope. So these envelopes are just way too pretty to use as an envelope. So I'm going to cut about 1/16 of an inch off of each side, like this. And basically, I'm just lining up the edge of the envelope with the edge of this track. And that's about 1/16 of an inch. And then for this, in my video that got ruined, I actually cut this flap off and glued it onto like just one of our regular envelopes. And now suddenly my envelope is decorated. So I've got the actual score line from the pre-printed envelope, and I've moved it over to about the 16th of an inch mark, so the edge of this track. So that it just gives me a little bit more depth to put on a regular envelope. Let me just grab one here. So here's one of our Stampin' Up! Envelopes. And if you look at this, it fits almost perfectly with that extra 16th of an inch. Isn't that cool? Like, how pretty is that? And let's go ahead and just glue that on there. All right, so I'm just going to line that up with the fold. Really, really, really pretty. So there, absolutely gorgeous. And then if you wanted to, you could trim away this little bit here, which I think I'll do. But really, it's just a sliver. You could really just leave it. You can barely see it. And then just down the side, there's like maybe a 16th of an inch here. And I'm just going to ease it off to the side. And the same on this side. There's just very, very little. There. So now you have a decorated envelope. Isn't that gorgeous? Rather than throw that piece away. And then for the rest of this envelope, I'm going to cut this piece to 3 3/4. So I just cut this piece is 3 3/4 by 5 5/8. So what I did next was I just cut this into 4 1 1/4 inch pieces. So I'm going to cut it at 1 1/4 and 1 1/4. And 1 1/4. And I'm keeping them consecutive because when I put them on the card, I want them to look like they are in order, kind of. And 1 1/4. And again, don't throw this piece out because you can put it on the inside of the card. Oh, I should have grabbed another piece of Blackberry Bliss. Hold on. Okay, so I have another piece of Blackberry Bliss here, and I'm going to cut this at 4 by 5 1/4. So 4 by 5 1/4. Oops, wrong blade. So 4 by 5 1/4. And so then what I did was my card base, oh, I should cut that while I'm at it. My card base is wild wheat. So let me cut a wild wheat card base because I used the 2 that I cut yesterday. So I have an 8 1/2 by 11 of wild wheat. I'm going to score it at 4 1/4 on the short side. So you can see it's 8 1/2 by 11. And I've got my scoring tool, which is the beige one. And I have it lined up at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to score all the way down. And then I'm going to rotate it 1 turn and cut it at 5 1/2. And that's going to give me 2 card bases. So you always have an extra card base because I rarely make 1 card of any sort. And then I'll do what I did earlier. I'm going to fold it and put both sides into the corner here and lift this out of the way. And this will help square at the corners. So then I have my 4 pieces. And I kind of at one point wished that I had cut them at 1 inch, but I didn't. And if I cut them down now, I'm going to lose the continuity of the design, which I don't want to do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just slightly overlap them on here like this. Maybe like that. And it's a bit random, but it's really pretty. So let's start with the first one. And I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal for this one because I don't need a lot. I'm just going to put a little bit at the top and bottom because if I want to rearrange them, this is going to be a lot easier to take apart. So let me put this one slightly on an angle. Is that the next one? Yep. Just a little bit in this corner and a little bit in this corner. So you can see the continuity. It's flowing, but it's still slightly wonky. Oops. And then the next one. So this will be the next one. And then the last one. There. Cute. Now I think these two could move over a little bit. So let me just shift this one over a tiny bit. And this one could come over just, I have it over on quite an angle here, so let me just pop up that bottom corner. Just have it slightly over like that. There. There, very cute. And then I thought I would put some of the wild wheat ribbon, which is one of the older in colors. This is last year's 2023 to 25 in colors. And I'm just going to put that right across like this. So let's put a little bit of the Stampin' Seal here just to anchor that ribbon. And I just want it across, basically across the middle. Like that. And then this is going to sit just right on here, like this. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put our little element onto our flowers. Now, what did I do with our ink? This is my favorite part of the whole flower, and I can't believe I forgot it. It goes this way, I think. There. And I'm going to pop some Wink of Stella on that as well. I just love my Wink of Stella. I put it on almost everything. There. So pretty. Alrighty. So then this is going to sit right on here, like this. And then let me grab my punch that I had yesterday. Now you could use any punch that you want to use really, but I really, really like this modern oval punch. It came out in the January catalog of this year. Okay, so I'm going to stamp just a note onto this label. Does it go this way? Maybe. Okay, and I'm going to I'm going to glue this onto here, and then I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. Or should I glue this down and pop this up on dimensionals? Yeah, I'm going to do that. So let's glue this one down. And I'm just going to put some seal on the top and the bottom, and I'm going to go right over the ribbon. I'll put this in the middle like that. And then I'll pop this up on dimensionals. Like this. So pretty. There. And then this is going to go onto our card base. Right side up. There. Super cute. Okay, and pop a couple of gems on there. Now these gems, I don't know. I'm not sure about the champagne color on there, but let me find my purple shimmer gems that I had yesterday. So the purple shimmer gems, I know for a fact, are current, and they have like the Highland Heather, it looks like, and Blackberry Bliss. So I'm going to grab some of the Blackberry Bliss ones. Whoops, it just flew away. It's alive. Come on, you little gem. There. Oh, why are we not sticking? I guess I left the glue dot behind. Well. There. Okay, and then we'll put a little one beside it. Get the cat hair out of there. And then we'll pop another big one, maybe over here. There, so pretty. And then in the inside, we can do the same as we did on the last one. I'll just take a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4, and we'll go ahead and just stamp. George is trying to get that chipmunk through the window. Just stamp this in the corner like this and pop that in there. Now I will list all of the products that I've used if anything tickles your fancy. And don't forget about the bundle sale from now to the end of the month, as well as the cut and emboss machines are also 10% off, so don't forget about that. Now, do we want to put this in here? Well, we could, couldn't we? Why don't we? Just finishes it off a little bit, I think. I'm just going to pop that right in there. There. So there's another alternative for you. And let's see, can we come up with one more? Maybe I have a whole envelope and another couple of card fronts that we can use up. So, I really love this. Why don't we cut this into a strip. So I'm going to cut away the score line. But keep this. I mean, this is a perfectly good piece of designer, good grief, designer paper. So I'm going to trim. Oh, I was going to cut just a strip of this. So let's cut this at 1.5. Very, very pretty. We can definitely use that. And let's see. What if we did what if we did another card base out of Lost Lagoon? I'm going to close this ink before I get ink onto everything. So let's score this at 4.25 and cut it at 5.5. It's getting really dark out there. We're supposed to have a super thunderstorm this afternoon. We had a doozy the other night, and man alive. Okay, I'm going to try and see what I think about having it with Petunia Pop. I haven't really done a lot with the Petunia Pop this year yet. What do I think? It's okay. I'm totally not a pink person, but why don't we try it? Why don't we try it? Oh, I have a thought. I've just, out of the corner of my eye, I caught this card base. Why don't we cut this in half? Why don't we cut this up 4 by 5.25? So 4 1/8. I'm going to take 1/8 of an inch off each side because I'm presuming that it's centered. Oh, I can hear thunder. There. So 4 by 5.25. So I'm going to cut again 1/8 of an inch off. Or am I? What if how big is this? 1.5 inches. So I'm going to cut this at 1 inch. Tall enough? Yep. At 1 5/8 inches. By, how big is this? 5.5. Let me just trim this down. It's just a smidgen over 5.5. Just a little hair over. So I'm going to do this at 5. No, this can't be any bigger than 5.5. So I'm going to cut this at 5.5. And I'm going to cut this at 5 3/8. There, so that's going to sit like this. Don't love it. What about the other half? So cut this at 4.25. No, 4. At 5.25. Okay, we're going to have to trim down the other one. So 4 by 5.25. So we're going to have to trim this down to, that can still be 5.25. So let's cut this one down to 5.25. So then we'll have to cut down the floral one to 5. And what size is it now? 5. So 5 1/8. We need to cut it down to. Am I right? No, a little bit more. 5 maybe. Let's try 5 1/8. If I have to trim more off, then I will. So 5 1/8. That's 5.25. Oh no, that works. 5 1/8. And then this can sit like this. That's pretty. And then this can sit on here. Right? Right. Okay. All right. So let's see if I have any petunia pop ribbon. I don't know if I do or not. I do, as a matter of fact. So let's have a look and see what this is going to look like. If I do this, put this here like this, and then this on top of here. And then this on top of here. I like it. I think that works. And then we can just stamp our greeting just right up here. Yeah, this is totally pretty. So if we just stamped just a note right here. And we can put this together. I really like this actually. Let's get this out of here. So let's go ahead and glue this to this. Oh, that's pretty. And then we'll glue this to here. Oh no, we got to put the ribbon on first. So let me flip that over. Now you can use tear and tape if that's what you have. And, you know, whatever works for you, use what you have. Just a little bit crooked here. So you'll see this ribbon freeze a little bit. If that bothers you, if you're using the ribbon on the front and it bothers you, my sister-in-law taught me a trick. She just takes a lighter and just because these are like a polyester ribbon, very lightly just touches the tip and it melts it and fuses it together. So that's definitely something to try. And my husband does that too when he makes model planes, and if he needs to stop something from fraying, that's what he does as well. All right, so let's go ahead and pop that on here. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. And then this is going to sit right here like that. Oh, I love this. A little heavy-handed with the glue, but that's okay. There. Oh, love it. Oh, you know what I forgot to do is fold our card base. Let me grab my trimmer here, and I'm going to pop this in the corner again like I did earlier. And just run my bone folder down the edge. I should have done that before I layered it, but that's okay. Job done. Now I wonder if putting a knot in there would be too much ribbon. Or even, yeah, over on this side, I guess. Like not a bow, just a knot. Because knots can be pretty. I like that. And let's give that a little trim. All right, and some of these little gems. I don't know how the cat hair gets underneath my gems. That is crazy. My stepdaughter and her husband are visiting his parents in Alberta this week, and they're having frost warnings, and it's like 40 degrees Celsius here with the wind, with the heat factor this week. So talk about a difference across the country. I just love this. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it, but man, I love it. And of course, I'm going to put a bit of Wink of Stella on my flowers again, just because I can. Just a little focal point. Just that little glitter. Ugh, love it. All right, same thing. Let me grab it inside. Insert. Now I'm going to trim this one down to 3 3/4 by 5 so that you can see the difference. As I said, I started kind of doing that. I like the smaller little insert 3 3/4. I think I need a new blade here by 5. I've cleaned well, the track looks like it needs cleaning again. If you find that you're having trouble with your blade not cutting the greatest, just clean out the track. And then sometimes I have a little ball of tinfoil and I'll just punch my blade into my tinfoil. Punch my blade into my tinfoil and clean it up a little bit. And that does help for a little while, but eventually, with the amount of cutting that I do, you kind of need to replace your blades once in a blue moon. All right, so I'm going to, actually this time I'm going to stamp this off, I think. Let me grab my scrap paper. And I'm just going to stamp this off once and then just have it in the corner. Just a little bit more subtle because this is a bit more subtle. And actually I could have stamped this in the Lost Lagoon too, but doesn't matter. There, so let's pop that on the inside. Oh, I'm all tangled up in my ribbon there. There we are. I just love this. I think this is just so simple and so pretty. A little bit of glue in there. Okay. Oh, did I? Yeah, I did. Okay. I trimmed it down to 3 3/4 by 5. So you can see it's just a little bit more of a frame around. It's not quite straight here. There. So I can just write a little note in there to whoever receives it. But isn't that pretty? So let's recap what we have. And I still have some more card fronts. I haven't done anything with this one yet, other than the one that was in the brochure. But let's see what we have that we've done so far. This video is getting pretty long. All right, so we have this one that we just did, which I just love. And then this one that I redid because of my glitch. Gotta love those glitches. No, you don't. There, I'm just going to move these over. And then this one, which I also redid because of our little glitch. Want to get out, Georgie? Just a minute. And I did that with the gold twine, which I hope I can get some more. And then this was the one, the first one that I did. And then these were the two that were actually part of the kit, the original kit design. So I'm sure I could go on and on for the rest of the afternoon, and I may just do that. I may do a sequel and have a second bunch of cards. I totally love this, and as I said earlier in my original video, I've ordered another kit because it's just so stunning, absolutely stunning. So if you like any of these projects and you'd like to purchase this kit, I wouldn't wait too long. I will put the link below in the video and in the description of the video rather. And then, yeah, if you have any questions about the project itself or any Stampin' Up products, please reach out to me. You can reach me at lisa@crittersandink.com. and I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions, as well as if you're interested in becoming a demonstrator and adding this glass mat into your starter kit, I can absolutely help you with that as well. So yeah, just reach out. I'd really love to hear from you. If you have any alternatives that you've created with this, feel free to drop yours into our Facebook group, Critters'n Creativity, and we would love to see what you've done with your kit. Thanks so much again. Have a super afternoon, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.